Welcome back to the podcast with me, Pete Tigers. Hope you're all well. I'm standing looking out the window while I'm talking to you. Bit of rain falling here. It's not heavy, just a little bit, but I think the weather's clearing tomorrow. This is just as the day that our Trout and Salmon get together at the Fox and Hounds down here in Devon is happening. I'm going to be loading the van up shortly with some of the stuff that I might need for the weekend. Then I'm heading over to Exeter train station to pick up Paul Procter. Then we're going to have a drive over to the Fox and Hounds and meet up with everyone. I'm really excited about what's about to happen. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot of great people coming along, and I'm going to try and speak with them, catch up with them, and get a feel of their fishing, what fishing means to them, those sorts of things, and perhaps get some information for you as well. So I intend keeping you in touch with that. So I hope you enjoy this little episode. I'm really excited about this weekend and seeing how it all goes. But yeah, I think it's going to be some fun. There was a time a few years back now, and there's a young man, I think it was his 21st birthday, and I gave him some flies as a birthday present. He's a hugely passionate fly angler, works at the Fox and Hounds. Tom Butt, good to see you, bud. You're already catching fish on the tour and doing incredibly well. I saw you had a nice one the other day.
I did. I managed to wangle a few days off work and caught a lovely 16-incher on a streamer, which I've never done much fishing with before, but yeah, really good fun.
And you like catching or trying to catch some salmon as well. Do you have a preference? Is it trout or is it salmon, or is it a bit of both?
I think over the years I've sort of found a love for the trout fishing more than the salmon. I have caught salmon on the river, I'm lucky to say, but I think for me it's mainly trout and the odd sea trout here and there as well.
That sounds very, very civilised. And the event's underway, so we've just watched a film, and I'm going to try and get hold of Jay Bartlett as well and speak with him. But it's lovely to see so many anglers wandering around. And I remember those days when I was first working at the hotel that we would celebrate open day and there'd be just me, and I remember it was Toby one day, and then that group grew and grew and grew. And it's nice to sort of bring back that tradition a little bit later. You know, we're 29th, I think, of March at the moment rather than the 15th. But it's nice to see so many anglers knocking around the hotel on the early part of the season.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, I remember the days where you'd turn up to meet your clients, you'd walk in the kitchen, I'd be in there cooking breakfast, you'd ask for a cheeky sausage sandwich, and then Dunk would roll up with his shorts and his flip-flops, and it was brilliant. It's a nice bunch. And everyone that's here this weekend's lovely as well. I've managed to get to chat to a few people and have a chat, which is great.
Fantastic. Well, we're about to have dinner. I think some people have walked down to the river. And as I said, we really enjoyed Jay's film about char in Greenland. Everyone's in the bar at the moment. The feel of it. And you're always nervous when you don't know the people so well. You're always a little bit nervous about how it's going to go, but it's been really pleasing to see everyone so engaged with it. And, you know, the questions just kept coming after the film, didn't they?
Yeah, no, it's really good. Everyone's very into it. They're all like-minded people. They're all fishermen or fisherwomen. And everyone's very, like I say, like-minded. Hopefully the event dinner goes well tonight. I've got to go and organise a few bits and bobs and get the kitchen riled up to go. But we're all prepared for you guys to have some nice food.
Fantastic, bud. I shall let you go weave your magic.
Perfect. Nice talking to you.
So we're all really lucky to see Jay Bartlett's film Cangear, which is wonderful. And it was amazing. It really, you know, the amount of questions that you asked afterwards as well. People were really into it, weren't they?
Yeah, I was just saying to Paul Procter as well, there's nothing worse doing these things where it's just dead silence afterwards. But it felt like we were talking for ages. So I really appreciate the feedback and the comments from people, and opportunity to talk about char. I love it.
I think your passion for it came so strongly across as well. That was hugely enjoyed by everyone, and your knowledge and expertise about it. And thank you for that. That was so enjoyable, but also what you'd learnt along the way. And I would recommend that if you get the chance, have a look on YouTube for the film, and we'll get the details when we finish speaking. But have you taken anything from your char fishing into your fishing subsequently, be it salmon, sea trout or trout?
Yes, absolutely. I've heard tales of people catching on nymphs, for example. I think nymphs are a very, very underused technique when it comes to salmon. You quite often hear people accidentally catching them during grayling season or something. So things like that. Certainly top water flies. I think there's the surge in topwater fishing has become more prominent in recent years, and I think adopting those techniques, like I've caught so many char, I'd love to see if it's possible to do that with salmon. I haven't had the opportunity yet, but it's literally the first thing I want to do, get back to the Devon or something and give that a crack, because I think there's a few places where it would lend itself to it. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing the film with us. If listeners want to go and watch it, where do they find it?
The best place to find it is on YouTube. If you just search Cangia, there'll be a lovely underwater shot of a vibrant, bright green and orange char. And it's about 14 and a half minutes. So if you look for those identifiers, you'll find the right one.
Thanks very much indeed, Jay.
Cheers, Pete. Thank you.
Bumped into Ed Noyes from the Wild Trout Trust, who's down here. He's going to be talking with us tomorrow about what they're doing. But welcome to Devon.
Hi, Pete. How's it going? What a beautiful part of the world it is as well.
Have you had a chance to go and look at the river?
I have. Really like the tour. Very, very nice indeed.
Have you been down here before? Have you fished the tour? Have you seen the tour before, or any of the West Country rivers?
I haven't. I mean, I have to confess very rudely, I probably know most of the UK, even fished in Ireland. The West Country, I've always just been, it's busy down there, another time kind of thing. So it's a pleasure to come down.
And the feel so far, and this is the early part of the crowd sort of thing, has been really good. We've sat and watched the film, spoken with Jay, that sort of stuff. It's been nice that the passion from people is clearly coming across, isn't it?
So much passion out. I was just stood by the bar there, and I think the ripple of talk was definitely about the char up in Greenland. So, yeah, I think Jay might have a few customers for the next season.
And tell us about your fishing. Where are you fishing? Where's home water? What are you up to?
Yeah, sure. So I'm kind of based South Worcestershire, Gloucestershire, kind of Welsh borders way. So it's lots of small stream stuff. Probably not dissimilar to Devon, actually. That kind of size of watercourse, so that kind of stuff. A couple of jewels in the crown. So we've got the Usk down the road, which is obviously fantastic for the trout. It's really nice. The Y catchment. So that's kind of where I fish generally. It's kind of hop out and go and fish for the day kind of thing. The odd destination trip mixed in here and there. But yeah, that's my fishing.
That's a lovely part of the world, and you're spoiled, particularly this time of year as well, isn't it? Spring on the Usk is pretty cool, right?
Absolutely stunning, yeah.
And I've fished some of those streams that flow off the Malverns as well. Have you ever visited some of those around Craven Arms, around that neck of the woods?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. So my local fishing club, the Game Fishers Club, shout out to the Game Fishers Club, they've got lots of small streams up and down the Welsh border there. So Craven Arms, you're looking at the Onny, the Corve, the Clun, the Backer Malvern, that's the Lion Cradley Brook. So they're kind of like my local streams. Absolutely beautiful on a summer's evening. So yeah.
I know them a little bit and I love them very much. Well, I hope you have a great weekend down here and you perhaps even get the chance to wet a fly as well.
Excellent. Thanks, Pete.
Seen some amazing talks this morning from the River Tor Fisheries Conservation Association, the Wild Trout Trust with Ed. We've had demonstrations from Simon Kidd from Snowby, and then Paul Procter's done some amazing demonstration as well about fishing streams and slackline casts. And I caught up with Gareth Evans. Last time I saw you, we're in Mexico. It was a bit warmer. It was a bit windier, probably, than anything else. You've been out. Then one of the things that's been happening at the weekend as well is that the fishing's been available free of charge for people to go and experience as well. But good dinner last night, plenty to eat. We laughed, and you've had a lovely morning, I hope.
I have. One of the main, other than seeing your good self, one of the main reasons to come down was to meet friend Paul, one of the Italian job guys. And we've just had this really relaxed morning. 2 old duffers going on the river. We had hail, we had rain, wind, sunshine. We donated, I don't know how many flies to the gods of the trees, but I saw dippers, I saw wildflowers. Life is good. As you were saying earlier on, friendship and being with friends is as much a part of fishing as actually casting a rod is. And to come down to, I've never fished, I've done sea fishing in Devon, but never river fished in Devon. And it is just a stunning little place to be strolling down this beautiful stream. Yeah, we were entertained by goats coming to say hello to us. We couldn't decide whether it was llamas or alpacas in the distance. And just a lovely little valley. And I don't know why. I didn't think the rivers would be as picturesque. I thought they'd be a lot more manicured and not the wild rivers that they are. But it's been well worth coming down for. And last night we sort of got chatting with various people. We've never met them before, and through the link of fly fishing and then beer and Daphnis, we just talked. And I think, unless anything changes, my memory of this weekend will be seeing good friends and laughing and learning, because Jay's talk last night on those Arctic char, I just wish my knees were young enough to do the 5 kilometre walk in an hour and a half over a Greenland mountain. It was just incredible. The fish were just... and I was lucky enough, I sat next to him at dinner, and he just got his phone out and was showing all these different pictures that hadn't been on the screen. And it was mind-blowing to see. Yes, I know Arctic char, they exist in some of the higher lakes in Wales, but to see the size of the fish and the colour, sort of the bright bars of silver with a dark top as they come into the river system, and by the time they get to where they're spawning, the hens, the belly's bright, virulent. It was just just learning and just enjoying, and then just thinking, can I afford a trip? Will I get shot if I sort of announce, by the way, Kath, I think I might have found a little trip to Greenland.
It's been fantastic to see you, and fantastic to show you the rivers that mean so much. And, of course, Paul Langford, who you've been fishing with this morning, the Fox and Hounds is a special place for you for a number of reasons, isn't it?
Very special place, because this is where I got married, so that brings back very happy memories. And this is where I learned a lot of my fly fishing skills with you, Pete. So just treading down memory lane, really. And as Gareth said, the opportunity to come for the weekend was great, but it was enhanced as soon as I knew my friends were coming. And we've just had a wild time this morning on the river. As he said, 2 old duffers crawling along riverbanks, trying to get over stiles without hurting ourselves, and trying to worry a few fish as well while we're doing it. So just fantastic.
Lovely. And are you guys fishing together again? Have you got some more books up?
We haven't got any more booked up yet, so we'll see. We might see what the weekend unfolds. You never know. We haven't fished in snow yet, and so we need to do that.
That'll be called a full house, I think. Well, it's great to see you lads as always, and enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Thanks, Pete.
We're just having a little bit of a lunch break, and I'm just chatting with Robin Smith. He's trying to hunt down Luke Bannister because there's a wonderful bamboo story that they're going to have a chat about. But I'd like to say a huge thank you for coming all the way from Wales to be with us at the weekend.
Oh, thanks, Pete. It's just brilliant. I've been trying to get to one of these events for a while now, and just timing and distance has sort of conspired against me, but this one's been perfect. Just 2 hours down the motorway, so that's doable. And it's just been brilliant, really great, so thanks.
And what are your fishing plans for this year? What have you got on?
Well, I think just more of the same, really. I want to get out more on the Usk and the Y and the Mono, and I've had a few abortive attempts so far this season, but it's still early, so fingers crossed I'm going to get out within the next couple of weeks.
Fantastic. Well, have a lovely weekend. Hope you enjoy the rest of it. We've got lots more packed into it. So, I hope you enjoy.
Brilliant. Thanks, Pete. Cheers.
Just standing with Neil Osmond and his dog. And I was having a conversation, Neil, actually, last night with somebody about Cressbrook and Lytton Water. And I said that we'd done an event up at Malin and Green. And you very kindly invited me along to fish with Dan as well at Cressbrook and Lytton. I was explaining about a fish that we'd seen rise, and I said, I think I'm going to try and cover it, but there's a lot of weed between me and the fish, and the inevitable happened, and the fish dived in. But that was kind of fun. But are you enjoying being down in Devon this weekend?
It's wonderful. It's lovely. We've been blessed with some nice weather. What a fantastic location as well. So, thanks for putting this on. It's been really, really good. Really enjoyed it. As I was just saying to you, though, I just wish some of the demonstrations made it look a little bit harder than it is. Sometimes it just shows that, there's a lot to still learn. But, no, it's been brilliant. Really enjoyed it.
Standing with Liz Taylor right now. Just had some lunch. We're waiting. Gareth is going to do a fly tying demo shortly. The last time I was with you, Liz, we were standing in a flats boat and I was watching you catch bonefish. That was fun, wasn't it?
Absolutely wonderful.
And you enjoyed that aspect of it, and then you're down here. Thank you for coming all the way to Devon. Have you enjoyed the weekend so far?
I have. It's been wonderful. Very informative. Lots more questions. Yeah, lots to learn all the time.
That's the nice thing, isn't it? Getting the chance to hear from people like Simon, Paul, and everyone else as well. It's just nice to get a look inside their world, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's nice to meet up with Gareth again and yourself.
Lovely. Well, lovely to see you as always, and enjoy the weekend.
Thank you very much, Pete. It's been lovely to come here. Thank you very much.
Just sat through, and I'm going to get Colin on here very, very shortly, a talk about Charles Cotton and the importance of Charles Cotton to fly fishing. But found Reprobate's Corner at the moment, and holding court in there is Paul Jennings, who's friend of the podcast, Mullet Guide. How's things looking for this year? Is it going to be a mullety year for you?
I hope so. It was really good last year because it was so hot, and a lot of the trout fishers came over because they couldn't catch trout. So I'm selfishly hoping for the same thing, but let's hope everybody gets on well.
And what have you got planned for this year?
More of the same. Probably going to be doing about 80 trips. Just enjoying myself with people that want to come and enjoy mullet fishing. And I can't wait to get started again. It's been a long layoff.
When does it start for you? Are the mullet around now at the moment?
They are. I've seen them. I'm being tormented by them. I haven't started fishing. That'll start next week. I don't start bringing clients till about May because that's when it's really quite consistent. But last year I could have started in April. But let's see how this month comes along. I've seen some people catching already. I need to get my act together and get out there and do it.
Well, I'm wishing you a very successful season, my friend.
Thank you.
Also in Reprobate's Corner is Peter Collins, rod builder extraordinaire. He also works at Lance Nicholson in Dulverton and does some amazing stuff. And I think I mentioned earlier that he's got a rod tube that he's decorated. Can you tell us a little bit about it, Peter?
It's for a very nice rod that's just been built out of fiberglass called the Pullum, and it's a spring trout, and there's a little verse on the tube that says, "Spring is sprung, the grass is riz, the bird is on the wing," but that's absurd because the wing should be on the bird. And that was said to me a long time ago by a good friend of mine in Cirencester, and it always made me chuckle and smile at springtime, so I thought I'd put it on the rod.
And the tube's beautifully decorated. Are you somebody who's a creative? You like to draw and sketch?
I do, but sadly I don't get a lot of time to do much of that these days, Pete, because life gets in the way. So it's good when I can and my head's in the right place for it.
And I'm just seeing the rod. He's got it out the tube now, and it's beautifully finished. The cork's really beautiful. I'm looking to see, is that, yeah, there's some beautiful stuff on there. Tell us a little bit about it.
So there's some feather inlay on the rod. It's a little 7-foot 3-rate modern fiberglass backbone blank, and it's got a burled cork handle, and it's got a turned brown oak counterweight at the bottom of the handle, and it fishes really nicely.
And is this for you, or have you built it for somebody?
No, I built it as a prototype to see whether it would work in fiberglass, but I think I might keep this one.
Where's that going to see some action this year?
That'll be going down on the Hadio, the Little X, on Heel and Holland Beat, and possibly Perry.
That sounds the perfect place for it. Well, have a great season, won't you, Pete?
Thank you very much. I've never done one of these.
Under the tutelage of Gareth Lewis, Sophie has just tied her very first fly. It looks a beauty. I think it has huge potential. You're fishing tomorrow. Did you enjoy that?
It was the most amazing experience. I've always wondered how they were made, and it's really exciting, and I couldn't have asked for a better teacher.
You've got one of the best in the business, that's for sure. Where are you fishing tomorrow?
Here.
Well, all I'm going to do is keep my fingers tightly crossed for you that the fish are rising, the olives are hatching, and you're going to be in the game.
This fly's going to be on my side, and I'm going to be lucky and successful and have fun.
That's the most important thing. And have you enjoyed the weekend? Is it a bit, aside from tying flies and filling your fly box?
It has surpassed any expectations. I mean, the people here are obviously the creme de la creme in their areas of expertise, and they couldn't be nicer and more generous in sharing their experience with us, and so gentle and teaching me so much. So it's been an absolute success, and I hope you repeat it next year, because I know lots of people who would like to come along.
Fantastic. Well, the best of success for you tomorrow, and I hope this is the start of a burgeoning fly tying career.
Yeah, it definitely is. Thank you.
We're getting ready for dinner now, but I've managed to catch up with Gareth. As I said, he'd taught lots of people to tie flies today, and it's been fun. But have you enjoyed yourself, mate?
Yes, of course. Fantastic weekend. Some awesome content from wide range of presenters and speakers, and just a great bunch of attendees. I think the visitors have been great, all happy, all eager to learn and just absorb everything being thrown at them. So yeah, it's been a brilliant weekend. Lots of smiling faces.
It's coming up for 6 o'clock, and I know there's people still outside doing casting and all sorts of stuff like that. And the pleasing thing is that I'm seeing people swap numbers, email addresses, stuff like that. And that's the really nice thing for me about it, that you're seeing friendships sort of being formed as a result of meeting strangers yet leaving as friends.
Yeah, I think I've given a few cards or business cards out, and already just a couple of messages. I think people are eager, as I say, to learn, but also just learn more about the environment, not just the trout, not just the fishing, take away a couple of new skills. And yeah, as I say, everyone's just smiling today, and it's the eagerness, I think, start the season. Everybody's climbing the walls usually, and I think everyone is just excited. So yeah, it's been awesome.
And do you think a slightly earlier night tonight?
Absolutely, yeah. And for those listening, it wasn't alcohol fueled. It was just a catching up night, chatting, all things trout, fishing. Yeah, but even so, I think we'll have an earlier one tonight, just fresher tomorrow.
Absolutely, yeah. There was a couple of glasses of wine and a beer and some Cointreau and stuff like that. I was taking Paul down the exotic route. But yeah, I think it'll be. I'm quite tired now, I have to say. But it's been fun so far. As I said, it's only not even 6 o'clock yet, but I think we got a nice dinner. There's raffles. There's all sorts of stuff still going on. So, and I think they're going to be casting outside for quite some time yet. But yeah, I'm hovering around the buffet area at the moment.
Yeah, it's good. And I think, just Pete, just a thank you for this. It's been you're onto a winner with this event. I think if there are any future ones, there'll be snapping your hand off, I think.
Thanks, buddy. Lovely to bump into Steve Dowling, who's come all the way over from Hampshire. His life's taken a slight change as well recently. What's your latest news, mate?
Yeah, I just retired end of 25. I guide for fishing breaks, and I've just taken some guiding on the Froome in Dorset.
You excited?
Very excited. Yeah, very excited. Cannot wait.
And have you got, is the book already starting to fill up with people coming to see you?
Yeah, I've got 10 days on the Froome, a couple of days on the Piddle, and even some teaching on the Tolbodder Lakes as well.
Many congratulations on that. And I hear you're picking up a double hander for the first time.
Yeah, I've never done double hander in my life, and a friend of mine just invited me out to the Spey in 2 weeks' time. Really looking forward to that.
Have a fantastic time, mate. And have you had a good weekend?
Oh, it's been absolutely amazing. Yeah, it's been absolutely wonderful weekend. Thanks, Pete, for organising it as well.
Aside from all the events that's been happening, the hotel's been offering free fishing for people in little slots across all of the beats, which has been great, and some fish have been caught, which is fantastic news as well. And Harry is guiding out of the hotel now. Harry Chance of West Country Fly Fishing is guiding out the hotel now. And you've been the dutiful guide as well, going up and down the beats, making sure everyone's okay. It's worked out okay. People have caught some fish too.
Yes, people have had a few fish. Some people have had some tugs and some trout go aerial on them and get off, which But it's just lovely early season fishing. The wind today was not in our favour. It was quite a cold wind. Water temperatures are still quite cold. But yesterday there was a nice little hatch that came off. So yesterday afternoon there was some flies floating about, and somebody said actually this morning that they'd seen rising fish. So people that I was with at the time, we shot round the corner and the wind beat us to it. So, but no, it's been great. It's been a great buzz and atmosphere around the hotel this weekend. It's been really, really nice.
And how's the season looking for you?
Busy. It's nice to be doing things with the hotel here. We're sort of putting things in place. So really excited and looking forward to that. And sort of diary's getting full, and somewhere I've got to try and squeeze some fishing for myself in.
That is the joy of being a guide, that the personal fishing falls by the wayside a bit sometimes, doesn't it?
Yes, that's just how it goes. So it's snatched hours here and there, but that's fishing for you. Enjoy it when you can, and if that's only an hour, make the most of it.
It's lovely to catch up with Jonathan, who's had a good down the river today. The fishing's not been easy, but you've caught a couple of fish.
Yeah, I had a couple of fish. First one was from the top of the beat, fish with a dry fly with a nymph suspended underneath, olive biots nymph, tied by Paul Procter. Well, created by Paul Procter. I'm not sure if it was tied by him still now, but did the trick. And then the second fish further down, more towards the hotel itself, and again on the nymph as well. So no dry fly action, but the nymph was successful.
Nicely done. And you're a Devon lad. Whereabouts are you based, and where do you tend to fish most of the time?
Okay, yeah. So I'm based out of Honiton, near Exeter, and I fish on the Otter, River Otter, which is a great little syndicate. And I fish on I'm new this year to fishing on Thomson Flying Club, and they've got some great water, River Axe, and lots of different fishing over Somerset as well. So they've got some fishing on the Tone and the River Isle. So I'm yet to explore a lot of that, but yeah, I'm looking forward to getting out and about.
I know the Taunton Water's well. It's a great club with a lovely mix of water, like you say. And the Otter's an interesting river from the West Country point of view. I guess the Colm's kind of similar in some respects, that it's got more of a chalk stream sort of feel to it rather than the spate streams that we're fishing a lot of the time.
I suppose when you think about a chalk stream, you get the sort of like the sort of green weed sort of runs where obviously on the chalk stream it's very well manicured, where they cut and sort of like look after it. On the Otter and the Axe is very similar. It gives that vibe because you've got that green sort of weed, but it's less sort of manicured as a chalk stream. But yeah, that's true. Yeah, you get a vibe like that.
And I remember years back that Mike Weaver wrote about the Otter and some grayling in there. Have you ever come across them?
Now that is a good point. It's a great story. No. I also read the same story, and I fished it religiously all year, and I'm yet to find a grayling.
Wouldn't it be lovely if one of those unicorns turned up? And funnily enough, the catch books, we may even show you them very shortly, but there's a grayling, I think, caught on the tour in 2003 on one of the beats here, and just knowing they're there, I wouldn't need to catch them, I wouldn't need to fish for them, but knowing they're there is sometimes enough, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if a grayling was to appear on the Otter, it'd be so encouraging. As we know that grayling, they need real pristine conditions to be able to survive or thrive, and that would just be brilliant, because it would give us the idea that the Otter is going in the right direction in terms of its habitat. So that would be really good.
Well, lovely to have you along. Many congratulations on catching some fish. Have you had a good day?
I've loved it. Yeah. Just meeting everyone, networking. It's nice to see the community is so open as well. I'm only in my 30s, so to come today and meet so many people and gain so much knowledge, it's just brilliant.
Brad Yates has got a new rod, and you got ever so close to christening it today in what has been incredibly hard conditions. That was close, so close.
It was. I wasn't in the best form this morning, but I gave it a good go, and really nice rod, lovely to use. Once I got my head round it, thought I was going to christen it. Fish jumped, got off, but yeah, at least I had one on the line.
Listeners will really want to know what was the rod.
The rod was a Luke Bannister 8-foot 4-weight rod, split cane rod. Beautiful. First day today. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to using it more when I'm in better condition.
And it's obviously not flu that you've had or anything like that. It's just been fishing hard and enjoying hospitality.
Absolutely, it's mostly the hospitality. yeah. No, it's been a really good thing. And look, some more hospitality has just arrived. But yeah, so it was a good evening last night. Probably stayed up a little bit longer than I should have done.
And are you fishing tomorrow?
We are, yeah. We're not quite sure where we're going yet or when we're going. So we look at the programme, see what's happening. I think we might be going to Church Beach, or I might be going to the Credison Fly Fishing Club waters. Just 10 minutes away. So, yeah, give that a go, and hopefully we can do better than we did today.
Good work. Great to see you. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Thank you. It's been great. Brilliant.
We tried really hard to go to bed a little earlier, and we did okay. We sat up to about midnight chatting again about fishing. We had a glass of wine, just chatted, Gareth, Paul and myself, and then we found out the clocks went forward as well, so that went out the window. So that was a bit of a shame from that point of view. But Paul, I wanted to say thank you so much for coming all this way down, supporting the weekend, and it's been a bit of fun, hasn't it?
It's been great, Pete, and thank you for the invites. Real pleasure to come down and, well, first of all, see this part of the world, but support trout and salmon. Gathering like this, and the people are just so enthusiastic. What surprised me, perhaps most, which is encouraging, is the amount of people that are non-fishers here, and they feel enthused. And the youngsters as well. We've got Dylan, as you know. And other youngsters we just spoke to who've been fishing. So, it's been a great event. I mean, I can't thank you enough. It's been really good. And hopefully, as we spoke about, there's going to be others, and maybe not too far from my doorstep as well.
That would be perfect. And I think, we've got some plans for these. So looking ahead, we might head out the road a little bit more. We found, I think, a formula that kind of works, a mixture of talks, demos, and keeping it light-hearted. And I think that's been one of the fascinating things for me has been that we've been here and, people who didn't know each other all sat down at tables, and you think, I wonder how this is going to go. And that was extraordinary, wasn't it?
It's really good. I mean, the mix of people and the... Quite interestingly, I mean, you sit down at the table, the seating plan for the first night, and you sat next to strangers, and you're here with some of your peers and friends, and you want to, you know what we're like. I said we're territorial as anglers, At breakfast this morning, we all sit at kind of distance ourselves as though we're arranging ourselves on the river kind of thing. This is my space, blah, blah, blah. But to sit down and then you get to know people and have a chat and share it's great to share. People are really kind, and you feel humble, and they're asking you questions, and I just love sort of sharing that with them, Pete. It's really good.
So what have you got? You're heading back lunchtime, fishing next week?
Hopefully, I've just checked that was a discussion last night, rain apps, weather apps, barometers, that was a rabbit hole we all went down last night. So just did the usual or habitual, wake up in the morning, onto the apps, see what the river levels are like, see what the weather's going to do. We're expecting a dollop of rain today up north, so I suspect the rivers are going to come up. The ground's already saturated, so perhaps... sort of, if you want to call it, a few days off the next days, but the river should come back into form. We're just on the back of a cold spell, as you know. I mean, it was damn chilly yesterday doing the demos outside. It's not so much the fish. The insects don't really like that, I think, this constant change. So just hoping after this belt of rain comes through, it settles down and it's business as usual.
Nice one, bud. Well, have a great one. Thank you for your support and safe travels home, bud.
No, thank you, Pete. It's been an absolute pleasure. Great to spend some time with you and have some giggles and laughs. And everybody learns. Every day's a school day, the conversations, and you learn from other people, and or they put thoughts into your head that you think, I need to gen up on that. So it's been fantastic from that perspective. Thank you.
We're sort of milling round ahead of things starting, and I bumped into Richard, who we've talked a little bit online as well. So it's, again, one of these really lovely things about these events. You get to meet the person in the flesh as well, which is cool. But you've got a lovely fishing story. You've been in and around fishing for many years and done lots of interesting stuff too, haven't you?
I have, thanks, Pete. Yes, my fly fishing career really took off when I was 8 on the River Isla in Scotland, downstream and across with wet flies for little grayling. But then after dabbling and fishing with my dad on and off little brooks in Lincolnshire, I was lucky enough to get a job working with Simon Gorsworth's dad down in Torrington on the Torridge, and working with Robbie Winram and Simon and Alex Henderson, people like that, who's no longer with us, sadly. But spent 2 wonderful years becoming a fully fledged game angling instructor and guide on the Torridge. It was great.
And we're going to do a podcast at some stage. I know that's what we've talked about, so we won't take too much of it away from that podcast that's going to be upcoming soon. We might do that in the water as well. I think we touched on that. But the weekend as well, have you enjoyed yourself?
This has been fantastic. It's been so low-key, and it's been really nice to sort of mingle with the speakers and presenters that you've gathered together here, Pete. It's been really, really lovely. I even managed to sneak away to the river just in front of the hotel yesterday, clink and dink, and had 2 10-inch fish on the clink. So that was great. So thank you so much for the opportunity.
That is fantastic to hear. So, well, Richard, it's been awesome to speak with you. We'll speak some more. And, listeners, watch out for the podcast coming soon. Just in the bar now, and there's a lovely feel, lots of people chattering away, and looking forward to the last few demonstrations and winding down the weekend. But it's been lovely to talk with Michelle Werrett, who has been on the podcast, has written the beautiful book about Exmoor. How are you, Michelle, and what are you up to creatively right now?
Thank you, Pete. Well, I'm really well, thanks, and still writing, always writing. My last book, as you said, was about Exmoor, and I'm now writing about rivers all across Devon and about old fishing flies that were invented and, trying to recreate these old flies and take them back to the rivers where they were born and fish with them there now. So that's my kind of vague project that I'm working on at the moment.
I'm looking forward to that coming to fruition very, very much. Have you had a good time the weekend?
I have loved it. It's been so interesting and, just exciting meeting so many interesting people, and all the talks have been fascinating. So making time to fit in a little bit of fishing without missing the talks was just so difficult, but I did manage to get out for a little while. And the river's been beautiful. The riverbanks are full of wood anemones. It's just lovely down there.
It's a beautiful time of year, isn't it?
It really is. Yes, it really is. And I had my first trout of the season was a little silver tor trout. That was lovely.
Many congratulations on that, and I hope you enjoy the last few moments of the weekend.
Thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to this morning, and thank you for organising it all. I love the way you bring so many people together. It's been brilliant, Pete. Well done. Thank you.
Ed Thompson's come down for the weekend as well. He's very kindly come all the way from London. He's going to head back up either the 303 or the M5, dependent which is least busy. He's been down representing AAPGA, and it's been lovely that there's the Association of Advanced Professional Game Anglers, Instructors, and he's secretary of the association. And it's been represented down here really well with myself, Paul Procter, Ed. So it's been great to be able to do that. And when you pick up a fly rod and cast it, which is great fun. And Ed did a demonstration about spey casting, primarily with a double-handed rod, but sort of talked about as well how that would work with a single-hander. But I know, when a demonstration goes really, really well, that there were just a couple of questions, and then Ed said nobody else, and I chimed in and I said, well, this is because you covered it so eloquently and so beautifully, but also the really telling thing about that, because he might have thought I was just being polite, people were attracted to him like flies, basically, and they stuck with him for quite some time, learning how to throw a spey rod, the dynamics, all of those sorts of aspects of it. And it was really interesting. I sort of watched from afar, and it was really interesting to see that. But did you enjoy that, Ed?
It was absolutely brilliant, and I hadn't really thought about it until you just said it. But actually, after it went on for longer, because I'd like practice. I put a lot of effort in, because you want to be relatively smooth and make sure it's easy for people to follow. But it went on for longer than I thought, which is great. And then afterwards, we had, I don't know, probably 10 people wanting to talk about how they could do things a bit better. And it was all about how to improve consistency with casting, because, if you want to get better at something, you've got to break things down, look at the detail, and build it back up. And for a lot of people, they're not really interested in casting per se. They just want to have more time on the water, more quality time, catch more fish, because that's what they're about. So, but if you don't, and you don't have to be a good caster to be a really great fisherman. But the old saying, if it's rare, you find a really good fisherman who isn't a pretty good caster. So anyway, I very much enjoy that, and it's very rewarding when you can see a little bit of a light bulb moment, and it may just only be one small aspect, like slowing it all down, which is a beauty, isn't it? That's and so it was very rewarding to see people respond to that.
And tell me, what are you up to fishing wise this year?
Bits and pieces. I'm next on my agenda. I'm going up with a few mates for a few days on the Dee in the middle of next month, which I'm very excited about because I've never fished the river. I've been assessed on the river, but I've never fished it, so it'll be a lot more relaxing. And then I've just joined Warden, the fishing there on the junction of the north-south main Tyne, which is quite exciting. So that's something I'm really looking forward to exploring and getting to know a bit better. I fish the North Tyne quite a bit, never fished the South Tyne. And then I have a week at the end of July when you're on that mystical magic river no one knows about up north, at Chip Chase, which is a lovely beat on the North Tyne. And then I have the only other thing I've got planned at the back end. I'll be on Nunnock, which is the other side of the bank, as a guest with my mate Paul Beecher. And I will try, because I haven't been to Norway for 3 years. If I don't go this year, it'll be 3 years. And I really miss Norway. It's the most. I basically used to fish the Lochie every year. I love that river, but when all the salmon stocks just fell out of Scotland, basically, I got mates who fish in Norway, but I on their coattails, really, I went off and fished various rivers over there, and I love it there. But and my mate lives over there now, so he's now got a new bit of fishing on a river called the Toa, which is a small. And I've been used to fishing big rivers like the Orkla. And so that's kind of a sort of nice sort of single-handed or small switchy poos rod. So I might try and head over there for 3 days, yeah.
And tell us, as Secretary of AAP Guy, what have you got planned?
Well, we've got our spring assessments coming up in the middle of May, which I'm due to do my entry-level single hand, which is a bit nerve-wracking. Doing the double... I think the double, having started to train for the single, it's a hell of a lot harder than the double, and I think it is the one to do. So I'm a bit nervous about that. But we've had a fair few people being assessed on that, and then we have a lovely open day on the Saturday. So we'll this is up at Fernie Lee on the Tweed for anyone who's interested in coming. Reach out to me. I'm on the website, and I'll send you a link, and do come and join us. So that'll be on Saturday. I think it's the 14th, 15th, 16th of May. And then we will probably have a members' day where we will get together, probably at Dilston on the North Tyne, and we just have a mash up and see what's new. If anyone's doing something differently, that's always fun, and try different kit. And then we have 2 assessment weekends a year. The second one's in October, and we'll have another open day then, which I'll put out on my socials at some point.
Fantastic, Ed, and thank you for coming all the way down, and I hope the journey home is not a difficult one for you.
Yeah, you're kind. It's a real pleasure to be invited. Thanks for giving me the demo slot.
It's been a little bit emotional. done a demonstration this morning, and it's been lovely to see Duncan, Toby and Keith turn up. And they were part of those early days of gatherings at the Fox and Hounds on Open Day on the 15th of March here. But I'm standing with Duncan, who guided with me for 4 or 5 years, was probably one of the best guides that we ever had, if not the best guide. He's a better fisherman than I'll ever be. The way he thinks about fishing, the way he approaches fishing is fantastic. And we're standing now, Fred's doing a streamer presentation at the moment, but I was just talking to Ed just previously and saying, do you know what, we probably have taught, and as said the secretary of AAP guy, and I said, do you know what, we've taught hundreds of people in this spot, and the pool that Fred's fishing, hundreds of people have caught their first trout there, and it's quite emotional, it's lovely, and it's been lovely I speak with Duncan a lot, and we nearly went fishing a few days ago. There's been a fishing just come off the tour yesterday, a salmon came off the tour yesterday, yeah, and that's thrilling, but it's been so lovely to see you, to give you a hug, to reminisce, and it's fun, isn't it, being back again?
It's weird. It's like, the drive up this morning was sort of weirdly like kind of emotional, all the sort of memories you had of coming back up here, but it feels like a lifetime ago, but it wasn't really.
And the river, like you were saying to me, is pretty much the same, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a pity there's a few trees being chopped down. But yeah, the pools are still where they were. It's weird looking. The pool we're standing on, the rock is still where the rock was. And Tom was telling me he caught a fish in front of it. And it's weird. The more things change, the more they stay the same.
And Doug's done, we did a podcast, you've probably listened to it at Colliford years back, and we did another one about his life story as well, I think, which was really, really enjoyable. And your life's taken a slightly different direction. That you have a son, Noah, and you're fishing in a slightly different way now, aren't you? You're a bit of a salty old dog.
Well, it's where I live. I live in Cornwall. I live sort of on the Fell Estuary, so having a little boy, I can't spend the time I used to, driving all over the place, all over the country, and traveling all over the world fishing. So you got to fish where you live, kind of thing. So yeah, I've had a series of boats. I'm currently on my 3rd or 4th boat. Fishing for bass, some on the fly, and also the bluefin tuna. I'm very lucky. I've got the bluefin tuna which have turned up, and I haven't tried for one on a fly rod yet. I'm slightly more intelligent than that, and perhaps the older you get, the more intelligent you get. But yeah, it's just interesting. You're still fishing. It's just slightly different.
Do you miss the trail streams though?
I do. I'm still like, I've got Toby and Keith and I. We fish together as much as we can, all dads. So time gets tough. And it's weird, guiding, you always used to look at these chaps and they'd come back after their kids have grown up and you think, shit, why didn't they fish all the way through? And I know now why. I do miss the trout fishing. Seeing some old buddies here, some of the old faces has certainly kind of piqued those interests again. And, driving up here, you sort of think, Jesus, it's been a long time since I fished this river kind of properly. And for 2 reasons. 1, don't have the time. 2, there's an emotional attachment, isn't there, to somewhere you spent so much time. I do miss it, I think. Yeah.
It's really interesting. We spent so much time down here, and I was just thinking about it. I was talking with Ed about it, and I said, do you know what? I don't think I've cast a fly here since I stopped guiding, which is really peculiar. And you see the river and you know the spots, don't you? And people have been talking to me over the weekend about, I was in here and I said, yeah, and there's a spot there and you need to stand here and you get it there. And it still comes flooding back. All of the fishing here is, and I was telling somebody at the weekend actually about a photo you sent me. It's one of my favourite photos in the 12 years of here. You had a mother and son and you took them out and he caught, I think it was a 12, 13-inch trout, and it was just a beautiful picture. And those sorts of things make it so special, don't they?
Very much so, yeah. That was down Beat 7. I remember his mum, she arrived, put her in waders, which she thought was hilarious, because I thought, well, maybe she's going to fish as well. And she brought, over her shoulder, she had one of those sort of deck chairs. So I was racking my brain, where should I take him, all the rest of it. She looked exhausted, bless her. So I took her down to Beat 7, and there's an old railway bridge we used to walk across, where I used to poach and walk across it and climb up the other side. But I put her on the bridge and took her son off fishing, and we eventually sort of worked our way up. And I looked back, he'd caught a number of fish that afternoon. and he'd caught quite a nice fish. And I turned around to show Mum, and she was fast asleep, with her book kind of in her nose. But yeah, that was quite a cool photo. I did wake her up and shout to her, and she came down and we took that picture of her and her son with the fish, which is cool. I don't know, I hope he still fishes, kind of thing like that. It's just, that's one of the things about the guiding here, and it's one of those things is walking past the trees behind us, coming through that little bridge underneath the railway. There's so many memories, and how many people I've taught to cast under those trees and on this grass. I don't know, it just feels like it was yesterday, but it wasn't. It's one of those just really cool experiences.
Well, it's great to see you. I've missed you greatly, and hopefully we get to Wet Line this year.
We'll catch up soon, bud.
So that's a wrap on the Trout and Salmon weekend. I'm tired, but I'm extremely happy. I'm hanging on to my voice as best as I possibly can. It's been tiring, but in a good way. It's been fun in a really good way. I think it's represented everything that is good about our pastime. People who haven't met each other before, leaving as friends, talking about fishing, sharing experiences, sharing fishing days now as well. And those sorts of things are magical. There were people going out fishing together who had never met before or had only met at the weekend. And those sorts of things for me cement why I love fly fishing so much. I even came out of, again, a bit more retirement and did a demonstration myself. I didn't know what I was going to talk about, but I just went with the flow, and it was part about me and why I love Devon so much and how I ended up there, along with a few tips as well to hopefully help people with fishing. But I've loved every single second of it, from the moments of seeing people when you're talking with them to sitting with Gareth and Paul in the evening, talking late into the night about this thing that we love so much. So I hope the podcast has given you a little bit of background about these sorts of events. I think we're going to do some more of these around the country. So keep watching. I think we'll do another one back at the Fox as well at some stage too. But keep your eye out for those. Thank you for listening. As ever, there's never going to be any charge for these things. It's just great fun that we get to share these experiences with people who couldn't make these events. So plenty more coming very, very soon. But I'd like to say a huge thank you for listening to the podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Fly Culture Podcast, brought to you in association with the Voice of Game Angling, Trout and Salmon, where Pete is the editor.